Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a general reading, and we're going to see what comes up. I am getting another strong fire earth sign energy here. I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to be only. Okay. Only for earth and fire signs. Second card. Okay. There is before I say what the first message is, please use your discernment and your own intuition to determine whether a reading is at all or in part for you. Okay, so you need to know if something resonates. Moving forward, what I'm seeing here is that for some of you, there's a struggle of feeling not accepted by others, or a feeling of maybe comparison in the sense of who we are in relationship to others, how we want to show up, what's true for us. And I'm seeing that that's really not a problem, in the sense that you are accepted and you do belong. Because we have the celebration card here with the mind card. So tuning in. This is tuning into our emotional state and not letting the external negative voices affect us emotionally. This is about finding that inner peace and tuning out all the noise. Maybe for some of you, you have been around influences that are just negative or not helpful. So in that case, either set boundaries or create distance, or both. Or you can, what I like to do is to tell people also. Like if I have an issue with how someone's showing up, I say, hey, can we change this? And if they push back or they diminish it, and then maybe that's information to take forward. But I'm not going to go too far into that. I'm just going to say this. I'm actually going to expand on this turning inward card. We're going to see what that has to say. Oh, wow. We have the turtle here with the buffalo card. How interesting. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. So you are supported, and you have a stable foundation, and you have abundance, and you are solid. You have, like I said, a stable foundation already. And you're building on that. And when Buffalo arrives, it's a reminder of abundance. Okay? And to, not only that, but to be appreciative and to remind you that I think with this dual message that I'm getting, for some of you, you're not feeling supported, you're not feeling accepted, you're feeling perhaps judged, you're feeling like what you offer isn't good, but it is. So in that case, I would say try to tune out any kind of mental noise or judgments. Okay? Yeah. I apologize. My allergies are kind of in full flux today. Okay. So, we're in an integration period of healing. So, because we've overcome something, we get the Master card. Okay. We've overcome something. What did we overcome? Yeah, I keep getting Ten of Pentacles energy. I feel like you're supported, and maybe you don't see that, but you've overcome some kind of energy that was really harmful. This could have been an external experience, which then became an internal experience. So what that means is, like, when we go through really hard things earlier in life or in past lives, that energetic imprint takes time to clear, and it can resurface sometimes, especially when we hit a new stage Um, so that could be a thing. What I'm getting is that you're supported, solid, stable, abundant. You've succeeded. You've cleared something really big, or overcome something, or completed something in the sense of the emotional charge, the energetic charge of challenge. That's been completed. So that's really great. Yeah, and we have the Fool card here with the Lovers. How interesting. Okay. Yeah, you've undone some serious programming here. I'm not gonna say every card that I saw because there's quite a few cards here already. But I'm just like asking for clarification on energies that branch off from the main message, and they're all leading to the same place. They're leading to Three of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, the Fool, the Lovers. The Lovers is. It's not just romance. It could be so many things because love is. The forms that love shows up in our life are so numerous. And so what I'm getting here is there's a true sense of support, camaraderie, and solidarity that you're not seeing or feeling at this moment. But I would work on tuning into it. That's what I'm getting here. It might be hard, but it's important to tune into it. It's here. Yeah, you're being helped. You're being helped. You are. You may not see it yet, and that's okay. Yeah, whatever these guilt paradigms are, if you are struggling with guilt or like feeling stuck or, excuse my language, feeling screwed, that's not the case at all. We have the redemption card here and the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups isn't just. There's so many interpretations to each card. What I'm getting with the Four of Cups in this reading is you didn't miss opportunities and people aren't being pushed away from you. That's not what's happening. Aspects of individuals that are challenging or not necessarily helpful are being redirected, but the individual is not necessarily being redirected. So aspects, for the most part, right? There are exceptions here. If there are people if there are energies that don't work for you, that's fine, of course. But energies that would work for you, at least in context with boundaries, they're not being removed. It's just those energies about them that are challenging are just being adjusted so that it works, so that the connection that you have with them works really well. That's what I'm getting here with this Four of Cups. Yeah, I would consider this to be boundary, like, I don't want to like make big statements, but perhaps boundary mastery, because the ability to stay in connection with the different aspects of people and just managing that's a real skill, and it takes a lot of strength and healing. So clearly you've done a lot of that already, and now you're hitting a new stride, and so that's really powerful and great. Yeah, we have the Sun here. The Queen of Wands in this deck is about mental fortitude. You would maybe perhaps attribute that to the Queen of Swords, but the Queen of Wands is warm, inviting, attractive inside and out. Okay, so the card says divine power, it guards against mental troubles. It's really about the self. It's about personal power. It's about one of the beautiful things that I'm getting in this reading is that you have the ability to show up for people's shortcomings as well. Like that's perhaps a value you have, but also a gift you bring. Yeah, there's love here, big time. Like love from the community, love from others, love from, support, etc. So there's a lot of that here, and you're okay. You may not feel that way, but you're okay. You are, even though you don't feel that way. Oh, for whoever this reading's for, if this is for you, you'll know. Perhaps I feel that you're in tune with your internal sense of power. It's just that there's some energy there that needs to be cleared, in the sense of like I said, past experiences, emotional imprints, intrusive thoughts, things that feel like they challenge your self-worth, like those things are being cleared. And the process of clearing them, coming up against them, as it were, or having them surface, is just clearing them. I wouldn't suppress them per se. I would like release them. Okay, let's see what's going on here. There's another message that wants to come through. Okay, we're tired. Oh, okay. Perhaps we need to work on nourishing ourselves here. Like, I think we deserve some of our own goodness. You don't stop. Okay, for now, for whoever this is for, constantly funneling care and attention to everyone but yourself. We can hit pause on that. Maybe not stop it completely, but you can hit pause on that. Like, I don't know if this is a fawn response from, past traumatic experiences where when in danger or trying to get approval or trying to get, appreciation, love, and affection and time, like we fawned over others. And just, immediately something was wrong, we showed up and like immediately started caretaking. I'm getting a little bit of that here. So let's be mindful of that, okay? Yes, loving others and being tender and gentle and compassionate is great. But let's also be mindful of when we are working to earn our worth with others. Because you have inherent worth. And that statement takes a lot of practice and understanding to really let it sink in. So let's practice that again. Yeah, let's do it again. And there's a lot here about you focusing on you. I'm getting a lot of the queens here. Not so many kings. I'm getting a lot of queens. So I would say that perhaps this is very much about tending to your own garden first. Let's do that. How's that? It's not that you're being harmful towards others. Sometimes we do have to tend to our own gardens. Okay? Yeah, this is the King of Pentacles coming up again. Again. It's just here again. And you are being helped. You just, maybe you don't see that right now, and that's okay. Yeah. There we go. We have the Chariot card, the Four of Wands, and the Hierophant. All is as it should be. Let's just say it the simplest way possible. All is as it should be. It's just good. Interesting how powerful this message is. So we have Coyote with Turkey. That's weird to get those two together. Because they're supposed to come up together. Turkey's usually about giving, but I don't know how this applies in this case. I'm going to need a minute with this one. And Coyote's about redirection. The Coyote reminds me a little bit of that Four of Cups energy in this reading specifically. Because you're not being redirected. It feels like others are. But when I first read that, it was about aspects of them, not the whole person. So, how interesting. So, maybe are others being redirected in their giving? Is that it? Okay, that could be. Yeah, that could be. I want to tap in a little more to be clear on that. What we do have here is also dog. The medicine of dog in most decks, as is in this one, is loyalty. Now, being loyal to others and situations and commitments is, of course, great. And we need to balance that with loyalty to self in the sense of self-love, self-worth, our own values, knowing our boundaries and our limits, where we can budge and where we can't, okay? Because that's just how it is. To have it completely rigid one way or the other is very unhealthy. And so we need to be good about communicating that and staying in alignment and knowing what we can and can't do. And that will naturally get easier with time. You won't have to constantly think of that. But there's something here with that. But in this case, perhaps relationships are being changed because this value within you is really strong. It's kind of like I don't want to say Hierophant energy. It's a little different, but perhaps Hierophant energy. Like you are someone connected to and aware of values that are really important to you, and it's really interesting that Turkey came up with Coyote. That's so odd to me. I want to ask more about that. I don't think I've ever gotten a combo like that in this context. I don't think I've ever gotten a combo like that. So let's see what this is. Purification. Okay. Yeah, there's maybe a cleaning of things here. Like like I said, just aspect of things, not the whole. Yeah. Okay. So we have goat and willow, which is about overcoming obstacles. And then we have the caiman and the poppy, which is pursuing our dreams. I feel like your boundaries are good. I feel like they are. And you're also very loving when you apply your boundaries. That's coming through very strongly too. Like you apply your boundaries, but you don't go, okay, well that's it. I'm done. Bye. Like you're X, Y, and Z. I'm just done. What protects you is the energy of love that you bring. Yeah. Yeah. And so that protection also is extended to you. So the tenderness that you show others, even when you enforce boundaries, that energy is very strong in you, and I'm getting that. It's coming through this. It's coming through this message. So that's really great. What's this with goat and caiman? Okay, there's a mantra here, and the mantra is everything is working out for my highest good. Okay, so we got that here. And it feels like Coyote's blessing you. I know that sounds really crazy when you think about it. Like, what do you mean redirecting people is good? Well, there's some blessing here behind this. A big one. It feels like protection. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, this card. Freedom, completion. Okay, into what? Or from what? Can we get more on this? Yeah, it feels like something here is completed. I don't even know. This is such an interesting message. Such an interesting message. Very complex. Freedom from what? I don't understand. And this is all about Coyote. Everything's tying back to this. It's like your grace to be protected from something. I don't know why. Yeah, but protected from what? Yeah, safety. See, the eel and the iris is about safety. From what? Maybe I'm asking. Okay, loyalty. There we go with Coyote. There we go. We're getting it again. We just got dog and pair. Well, in this card it's the hound, but it's dog. Okay? And then we have Coyote. It's so interesting. I think maybe, okay. Perhaps the values that you've instilled in yourself that are really strong are adjusting your connections. Like you want loyalty, commitment, solidarity, showing up. Like setting boundaries with imperfect connections doesn't necessarily mean, in all cases, doesn't necessarily mean ending them. Some, yes, which was in the past. Some perhaps are too far of a match to work in most contexts, but we can still manage. That's what I'm getting here. There's also some kind of it's the way you love yourself has also changed. Like you really show up when things are like need your patience and your own compassion, and so you've really worked on that. And there's a solidified here. I'm not sure how Turkey ties into that because again, Turkey is still here. A sense of loyalty here. Okay. How interesting. So, what is this person struggling with? Like, I'm not getting it. Maybe that's not the right question to ask with this energy. This energy's not really saying that right now. Okay. I just feel like Spirit's showing up for you. Like, Spirit's really showing up for you. Big time. And you deserve it. Yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah, there you go. 10 of Pentacles. Again. Okay, it's apparently there's some kind of shift that does need to happen here. And a shift could be something as simple as tuning into a certain type of feeling and a belief within yourself. That could also be a shift. And it is likely to be the shift that's being asked of here. So, feeling supported. Sometimes when energies shift, if we're very sensitive to collective energies, we can feel maybe temporary sense of lack, which is an illusion. Oh, this card. Okay, 9 of Pentacles. What about that? 9 of Wands with the 7 of Cups. Expansion with the Empress. This Empress is telling me there's a new quality being birthed in you that maybe you didn't really connect with before. It could very well be dog. There's a new quality being birthed in you that you didn't emphasize like this. Yeah. Can I ask what the quality is that's being birthed in this person? Just for clarity. Can I ask? Luck? Oh, okay. This is a 10 card. You keep getting 10s. So, duck and chrysanthemum. You are on the brink of good fortune. Be open to situations that bring about positive transformation. Okay. Let's take that. This card. Protection. There it is. It's perhaps on my end not helpful to nitpick every tiny energy that. So let's look at the big picture in this case. You may not see it, but you are protected in some very important way. And it's not to say what you're protected from is not necessarily individuals. What you're protected from is um, harmful dynamics is what you're protected from. Yes, that's what you're. Yeah, yeah, that's it. You're being protected from harmful dynamics, and that's such a broad statement because that's going to apply to each person a little bit differently. But there's, for some of you, what you're struggling with is learning how to work on this energy of showing up with others. That it's a mix. It's a mix of trying to make things work. They bring different things to the table, and what's a struggle, what you're still learning to grow into, which is necessary, totally fine, is not being affected negatively by where people are at in the context of being led off course by by the strength of others' inspiration. So that means knowing what your compass is, knowing what you enjoy, knowing what brings you joy, knowing what your activities are, knowing what makes you happy and is not something you just logically thought of. Like, for example, different businesses and different things in life can succeed. It's just a matter of doing it from a place of aligned, inspired joy. And so perhaps up until now, and maybe a little bit still, you can sometimes be redirected by others unintentionally. Sometimes other people's value systems, etc., kind of lead you astray, and it takes you time to get back to center, because you get let off a little bit. Sometimes, and then that isn't to say that you aren't loyal to your heart or what's true for you. You are. That's why this came up twice with the dog energy here in two different decks. Coyote is actually a protector. And so it feels like things that would harm you in the sense of other people experiencing certain types of challenges, sometimes you might internalize that, and it's like, and make that about you. You're being protected here in some very meaningful, positive way that's ultimately going to help you. So that's really powerful. Yeah. And there is a return to center here in the sense of Lizard is a card about dreams. And so this is about creating a reality that is true for you, is abundant, is aligned with joy, is something that you want to experience. Okay? I feel like we got a lot of the message out into words. Why is Cody here? Is more wanting to be said? Is more wanting to be said, please? Okay, we have the stagnation card. Let's see why. We also have the devotion card. This is Hierophant energy. This is being true to yourself. Can I get clarity? Splitting. Okay, what are we splitting from? Oh. The Queen of Wands is warm and invites others and creates a sense of connection and community. That's what might be being healed. So the Queen of Wands is also someone, out of the four suits, the Queen of Wands exemplifies visibility, being seen, being welcoming. This is someone who knows how to love themselves, and because of that, is good at loving others in sustainable, healthy ways. Yeah. And you're being cleansed here and protected again. I keep getting protection a million times over. It seems like there's some internal work that you're doing. You're already doing this. I don't need to guide you into it necessarily. You're doing it already. But there's a clearing here, and then we have raccoon energy, which is like a protector. That's spirit protecting you. Yeah, there we go. We just got coyote and eagle. Okay. This is the most times I've seen coyote in a reading. Oh my god. Can I ask what's going on? Let's ask in a different deck. So many times to get coyote? That's wild. That's just wild. Oh, this card. Okay. Being playful and letting spirit be your guide. So we have Sandpiper Spirit, be playful, and we have Hawk, let spirit be your guide. So the energy of play is following your bliss, following your joy, doing things that make you happy. Whatever they are. And those things could also generate an income. I actually believe that's how you do it. Sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. When Sandpiper Spirit shows up, it is a sign that now is the time to engage playfully. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with a lightness of being. Explore the familiar and discover new things in old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun? Sandpiper Spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. We also have Hawk Spirit, so let's read that. Sometimes I like these messages. This way people can like replay it and hear it, especially when they're working through something hard. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees the big picture and the details, observes the rain and the pond, as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition, and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. This can, this you have to kind of discern from the inside out, right? Because there could be a million things. But generally, Spirit will repeat things, or you'll be inspired by something. So there it is. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song, or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric which matches your situation, question, or circumstance. Or you might begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate, and it reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. So there's definitely the message here is play, which is so interesting. So the point, yeah, there it is. Hummingbird is this animal represents joy in most decks, especially in this one. Be here now. Enjoy what you have now. Enjoy where you are now, and work from here. Work from this place. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just getting a lot of abundance here. There's a lot of abundance cards. You have Cow Spirit, Buffalo Spirit. I mean, yeah, Koi Spirit. These are about abundance, having more than enough, being supported, and I'm getting the energy of solidarity, like people being on the up and up with you. They just are, and, and if such an energy is being mirrored to you, then you probably are that way. But you also do it with love, and you show up for other people's like. I'm exhaling in a sense of like, oh, like I get it. You show up still even when others are challenging at times. Like not in the sense of you're enabling harm or letting yourself get negatively hit by energies, which that could have definitely happened, but you're not going, ew, I just heard something and now I'm out. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Look at what's flying out of my hand. This is why I like to point the camera down so you see it. We have abundance and turtle, which is Ten of Pentacles energy. I think I've already hashed this out enough. Yeah. Okay. Even though I just read Hawk Spirit, which tells you to pay attention to guidance from Spirit about what you need, where you're at, what I am getting is to have boundaries in the sense of not internalizing everything that everyone else is going through. Right? So in the spiritual community, sometimes we might say everything that's going on around you is a reflection of you. I don't necessarily buy into that because other people are having their own experience, right? And so everyone has their unique stuff. That doesn't mean that. Don't make it about you all the time. Or take on, maybe to say it better, is to take on everyone's stuff energetically. Just don't do that. It's not helping. You can't help someone by rolling in the mud with them. You can't. It's not going to work. You just can't help them there. Like, and not to say that others are in the mud and you're not. I'm using an expression to explain something. You're not helping by, joining in that necessarily. You help from a place of abundance, stability, joy, compassion. You help from there. And right now, as I mentioned in this reading earlier, there's some kind of really strong coyote energy here. It feels like Spirit's protecting you from a dynamic that you don't yet fully understand. And you're being fiercely protected. It's like not even funny. Maybe I'll go into another reading because this one's getting already long. So we're just getting abundance 600,000 times. So I'm going to share it with you 600,000 times. Antelope and wheat is about abundance. This card says nourishment. It's about abundance. You are feeling fulfilled, nourished, and secure. Celebrate your good fortune. Share it with others in need, invest in your community, and ensure you are supported in leaner times. You're just abundant. I'm getting that. Anyway, I feel like I've said enough. Yeah. You are loved, you are supported, you have a lot to be happy about and grateful for. There's a lot here for you, and thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I'll see you in the next one.